What's up there, guys? Dibalen Football Channel, Kaizer Chiefs Football Channel. Football from the fans' perspective. Welcome back. Welcome to our new video. We're doing a review. Kaizer Chiefs 1, Richards Bay FC 2. Kaizer Chiefs loses to a side, a first division side. First game of the tournament, Nedbank, and we're out. Very heartbreaking for us as Kaizer Chiefs fans. You know very well. And yeah, interesting for football. Obviously, people who enjoy football, it's going to be interesting as to how this side fares. Richards Bay, to be honest, they played very well against Kaizer Chiefs. Otherwise, very bad performance, very heartbreaking performance for Kaizer Chiefs. For me, I'm very disappointed. I had to drag myself to do this video, to be honest. And I feel like it's going to be some sort of a rant. And I'm not a fan of rants. I just want us to analyze the game and to look for positives, look for negatives, and see if the team is improving or if the team is just, the same. But this time around, I don't think we have any positives, to be honest. I don't think there's any positives. Normally, when we do videos, there are positive things we learned. But this time around, I don't think there's any positives. Losing to a second division side, no matter how much, Kaizer Chiefs is so much off form, is going through a rough patch. It's not acceptable to be, it had to be Kaizer Chiefs that is knocked out. It had to be Kaizer Chiefs. Yes, Galas was knocked out, saves them well. But yeah, it had to be Kaizer Chiefs, and man, it's bad. It's bad for us, and I had to drag myself. So yeah, before we get to the game, I would like to thank you all for watching and clicking, into our videos. And I appreciate the support, the subscribers, the people that have been supporting us, people in the comment section. I appreciate it a lot. And I would like to encourage you to subscribe. I've realized that there's a lot of views. Some videos reach so big numbers, thousands and thousands, and yet there's very few people that have subscribed compared to the people that are viewing. And I would like to encourage you to subscribe. It doesn't cost a thing, and it helps the channel. It helps me. It helps the channel, and it's very much appreciated. Otherwise, yeah, the game was, not an easy game for Kaizer Chiefs. And like we said, it's not going to be an easy game. We mentioned a few things that are going to make this game very difficult for us. First of all, that this team is very much motivated. It's going to come into this game. Richards Bay is going to come into this game very much motivated because they're playing against Kaizer Chiefs. It's always an extra motivation to play against a big side. Kaizer Chiefs, of course, and many small teams, they fair their chances against Kaizer Chiefs. And we're seeing what is happening, the new trend right now with small teams fairing their chances and winning against Kaizer Chiefs. Secondly, was that they have nothing to prove, nothing to lose. They are a first division side. The owners are more on Kaizer Chiefs to perform, to show that they are in PSL, that they are a side that is well competent and one of the biggest sides in the country. The third was that is the team on form. The team on form in Glad Africa. So they are not coming here as a weak team. And more especially if you compare the standard of Glad Africa with the standard of PSL. To be honest, check Swallows, how Swallows has performed, and you will see that there is not so much difference. So we need to be very serious. We need to be very prepared for the side. Another thing was that it's that Kaizer Chiefs has a reputation in losing against small teams right now, more especially in the Nedbank. We know the first one was Amatax, when knocked out by Amatax. Bo Jali, Bo Mtokozi Siende, Bo Mungalo. It was very bad. Knocked out 4-3, I think. And then another game, we knocked out in the final by TS Galaxy. That was the first division side then. And yeah, it was just always going to be a bad one if we're knocked out by this team now, Richards Bay. And we're always going to have to look out and to watch out. And indeed, we're knocked out by Richards Bay, man. And that's very painful. That's very dreadful. It's abysmal, very unacceptable for me. And yeah, Kaizer Chiefs, you must trust Kaizer Chiefs to disappoint you nowadays. And Gavin Hunt did say that this is going to be a very serious match, very difficult match, and he's going to field in his first 11, his strongest side. And I was in agreement with that, of course. And yeah, it made sense to me that we want to compete. This is our last opportunity to compete in a cup competition, and we need to field our strongest side. Let's check how the coach decided, to be honest. Let's check. Akpay in, right back, Moliko, two center backs, Akpay and Cardoso, left back, Ntiya-Ntiya. And the midfield was Macheke and Ngobo. Macheke more deep and Ngobo being the progressor of the ball. And then on the left was Mashiane. On the right was Nchangas, given a chance this time around as a striker, Nukovic, obviously, and the captain of the team. And yeah, for me, not so much of a bad team, but few concerns. First of all, I thought Ntiya-Ntiya is more on the left, on the right is off position for him. And yeah, and that's how I felt. And Ntiya-Ntiya, I had my doubts on him, and boy, I was proven, right, with my doubts. A lot of people were calling for him and saying he needs to be there. Ntiya-Ntiya said he has to be there. And indeed, they were given a chance. We saw what happened. And I hope from now on, we're just going to let the coach do his job and let him lose if he loses, so that we can have a problem with him, and let him win if he wins. Otherwise, enough of this thing of calling for players. I'm one of the people that have been calling for players, but I think it's time for the coach to have his chance without any influence, without any pressure. The game, to be honest, let's check the game. It was balanced game, and which is the first thing that is very disappointing. A balanced game. Kaizer Chiefs was on the front foot. We're attacking a lot, but we're making no impact. These guys were dealing with our attacks, so no discipline at the back. Very good in holding the ball. After they win the ball, they were not panicking. The first sign that I saw that these guys, they are very smart. First, they were looking to catch Kaizer Chiefs on counter, because they know that our defense is not so much good in terms of their pace, in terms of organization, in terms of their high line. They just don't know how to manage it. As much as Akpay likes to playing as a sweeper, it has not been working with Kaizer Chiefs. So we saw against Orlando Pirates, and these guys were almost doing the same thing, looking to break on counters. And the side that they were using was the side of Ntiya-Ntiya. And I was like, okay, these guys are targeting Ntiya-Ntiya, and this guy has to prove himself. And got a first yellow card in the first half, a very bad tackle, and I think was miscalculated tackle, was not supposed to make. And also, it was not in a danger zone. That's the thing. The first half, yellow card was not in the danger zone, made that bad tackle, and got a yellow card, of course. Otherwise, nothing happened until the corner kick. Very bad performance from Akpay. Very bad performance. This is the second bad performance. Against Orlando Pirates, he did bad. And it was just to say, okay, the first mistakes, you cannot blame him. And the defense was involved in the mistake, Frostly as well as a guy. But yeah, against this team, I think it's him. It's his ball. First, the cross, it's in goalkeeper's area. Second, there is no impediment. There is no impediment in front of him. He's not impeded by anyone. There's no disruption. There's nothing. There's no one who's disturbing him. He's going out. He goes for the ball. Of course, we know he's a very commanding guy when he goes out. He loses the ball. Doesn't catch the ball. He miscalculates, and the ball is in. Nikovic, he lost his marker, and Moleko also couldn't deal with the situation as well. I think it's a player that was there that could have dealt with the situation. But yeah, a goal in, and I think Akpay is one to blame for that goal. And it's going to be very interesting how Akpay and Kuhn and the goalkeeper situation is dealt with going forward, because it's from the first mistake Orlando Pirates, second mistake now against a very small team compared to Kaizer Chiefs. Yeah, 1-0 going to the first half. Otherwise, nothing from Kaizer Chiefs. Second half, 4 changes in the beginning of the half. Of course, Castro in, Blom in, who's the other guy in, who's I think Zuma and Manyama in. For Macheke, Ntiya-Ntiya, Happy Mashiana, that I don't feel it should be out. And then and Bernard Parker, that was not supposed to be in the first place. Okay, obviously, Happy, I felt like they need to remove Ntiya-Ntiya because of his yellow card and drop Happy to be a left wing back. He can just survive in that position because it's good defensively. Also, in Kaizer Chiefs, started as a defensive player and also good offensively. And in the first half, I didn't see anything wrong with his performance. Ntiya-Ntiya good. He was out. Didn't give us, I think it's issue of game time. Parker, I don't know why Parker is given a chance time and again. And then, yeah, Macheke didn't do well, but it was a much improved performance from Blom when he came in. More stability in the midfield and more progressive passes, and also is good in terms of defense on the defense side. So, yeah, crosses went back to the crossing game. One guy that brought positive, impact in the game was Castro. Was very good. For me, I prefer both of them. I prefer when they are playing with Nukovic. That's my preference. I think they are much more effective when they are playing both of them. And the crosses, and was good in collecting the ball, in opening the space. In fact, he created a few chances by himself, Castro. created a few chances. He was beating a man and was good in terms of fetching the balls, while Nikovic was there stuck with the centre backs of this team and creating problems in the centre back of Richards Bay. But yeah, other than that, then we get a chance. Kaizer Chiefs gets a chance, and Zuma was quiet until he created that chance, according to me. And then Castro, Assassino de Bogota, gets a goal for us. Had much more fought goal for us, and it's because that goal for me was like, okay, Kaizer Chiefs is coming back. And by that time we're 9 men down. We're 1 man down. We're playing with 9 men in the pitch, and the 10th man was Akbay, of course. And yeah, we'll go back to that Ntiya-Ntiya incident for me, which I think was one of the deciders in that game. And of course, we created chances in terms of the corners. Frosler came in, was on the left, of course, a lot of crosses, and we created corners. We created crosses, and one of the chances that we created, Castro missed a header that I think we should have kept it in and put it in. Was supposed to be a goal. Another cross, Nukovic offside goal, was disallowed. Another opportunity, Manyama got an opportunity, and I don't know what he did there. And I think there's a huge concern now with Manyama and his performance, and the coach's insistence on playing him, even when it shows that he's just not contributing towards scoring goals, and he's just been very bad. And I think it's time to bench some of the players in Kaizer Chiefs, and it's part of them. Parker, less I say about him. Ntiya-Ntiya, I said that Ntiya-Ntiya's performance was one of the deciders in this match. And his decision on the second half, first, that ball is not on any danger zone. It's still in the halfway line. Still in the halfway line, and there's still other players that are there. He's late, decides he's going to clip a man when he knows very well that is on a yellow card. When he's aware that is on a yellow card and the team is chasing a goal, he takes that decision. And Gavin Hunt says, Gavin Hunt's comment, there were very interesting comments in Gavin Hunt's post-match. He says that there were players that needed to be given a chance, that people were calling for them to get a chance, and indeed they got their chances. And yeah, they wasted them. That's what Gavin Hunt says it proved him right. And that's very concerning for me, because he's still going to have to play and work with these players, but at the same time, it is some sort of, Gavin Hunt is responding to fans that have been calling for players. Say, you've been calling for certain players and I gave them a chance, and yeah, it proves me right why I kept them out for most of the time. And yeah, Ntiya-Ntiya is one of those guys that given a chance, we've been saying Zulu must not be given a chance a lot and all that. For me, Zulu had improved a lot, and people have been calling for Ntiya-Ntiya, got his chance, and indeed, he costed the team. He's one of those players that I think they need to think hard on their performance on Kaizer Chiefs. He's from the ranks on Kaizer Chiefs, of course. He's a player that grew in Kaizer Chiefs and one of the promotions, if I'm not mistaken. And that performance was very bad. It's not acceptable. Not accepted. We have so much faith and so much affiliation with players from development, but they need to give us a performance. They need to give us a performance. And then Ntshangase got his chance, and it proved the coach right, as the coach says. And yeah, otherwise Kaizer Chiefs performed very bad, man. Performed very bad in Ntiya-Ntiya's decision to get the red card when the team is trialing against a first division club, is trialing to get a red card when we are 1-0 down. It's very bad. Rather take risks, chase the man, make sure that there's other people, and then when it's late, that's when you can, when you see that there's no way out of this, you can, make a tackle and maybe take one for the team. But I think it was too early and it was a bad decision for him. We came back, but it was too late, because we're pressing the boys. In the additional minute, they got a goal. Well-deserved goal, because they were very much calm and collected, and they were always looking for counters. And yeah, we should have known that. Akbay goes out and it doesn't win, and all the time, man, when it's a break from our defense, it's almost 99% is going to be a goal, because Akbay is not bad, is not good in dealing with these breaks. Our defense is not good in tracking back. And yeah, the boys of Natal, They won 2-1 against Kaizer Chiefs. A very disappointing one from us. And right now, I'm thinking, after this bad performance from Orlando Pirates, and I said there are positives in the team, which I still don't believe there are positives in the team. I'm thinking, what's there to be done now? What's there to be done now? We are looking to cement our position in the top 8. We are number 8 in the top 8. So it doesn't look good for Kaizer Chiefs at all. And I would like to hear from you. What is your reflection on this game? For me, it was a bad game for us. Unacceptable game. And to be trialing against very early against that team, we're supposed to be the ones in the front foot in the first place. Our defense, still problems in the defense. In the midfield, I never had problems. In the finishing line of our game, still a lot of problems. I would like to hear from you. Otherwise, from me, I'm very disappointed. That's it from me. There is no love and peace today. Otherwise, Dibalen Football Channel, Kaizer Chiefs Football Channel, football from the fans' perspective, you know what it is.